Alright guys, in this video you will learn everything about GoHighLevel calendars, how to create a new calendar and adjust availability, how to connect your Google Calendar, Zoom, how to integrate Calendly, and everything you need to know. This is going to be a deep dive. So let's just get right into it. You want to be on your GoHighLevel account. Make sure you select your sub account, not your agency view. And here you just want to go ahead, click on calendars, and you can start setting things up. So I'm just going to go ahead, go to calendar settings, and I'm going to create a calendar here. So the two calendars that I use the most is either personal booking or round robin. Personal booking is basically just one person using that calendars, and round robin is when multiple people use the same calendar, such as a whole sales team has this one calendar when all the sales calls get booked into. For simplicity, I'm just gonna go with the personal calendar now, and we're gonna name it test calendar. This is just gonna be inside GoHighLevel. You can select the team member that's gonna take the calls or yourself. You can use this custom URL, which doesn't really matter much, and set the meeting location. I'm just gonna stick with 30 minutes. And before I confirm, I usually start already with the advanced settings and customizing everything. And I'm gonna get into this booking availability in a second. So I'm gonna go to advanced settings, and this is gonna take you to the place where you can set up everything about the staff and location. This is where your Zoom integration or Google Meet integration will come into place, the availability, the booking rules, and we're gonna go and customize everything here. So let's just start with the basics. You can upload your calendar logo here. You can write a description, and this custom URL matters if you use this Calendly style scheduling link that you send to someone where they can pick a time and book themselves in. So you can customize this URL too. And in terms of the group, I can create a calendar group. Okay, fine. And then meeting invite title. This is important because this is what's going to show up in the Google Calendar of the person you sent this invite to. So it can be contact name, discovery call. By the way, you can use variables here if you click on this little thing, and you can write the contact full name, first name, last name, etc. You can write the name of the team member that's gonna take the call. So let's say if I write here contact name / and I'm gonna write variable, appointment, and assigned user, full name. I'm gonna copy paste this here. So right now this is with variables, but once the actual appointment is booked in, it's gonna look something like, I'm just gonna write it here, John Doe / Martin for discovery call. So for these variables, the name of the contact and the name of the person who's gonna take the call will be filled in here. But I'm just gonna keep it simple. I'm just gonna call it discovery call, whatever. This is just a demo here. You can choose the meeting color, doesn't really matter. And then you can go over to staff and location. This is where you can select the person that's gonna take the call. And here, meeting location, you can hit Zoom. I'm gonna show you in the next step how to integrate your Zoom. It's gonna say error now because I don't have my Zoom integrated yet. For availability, this is now your personal availability. So here's the thing. For calendars, the calendar itself has its availability, and you as the user who is part of this calendar have your own availability too. Now, when it comes to a simple personal calendar like this one, this is the same. The availability of the calendar is the same as the availability of the person taking the calls. However, if you set up a round robin style calendar where multiple people are added to this one calendar, that's where you can set a specific type of availability for the calendar and adjust that. So just keep that in mind. And booking rules, this is probably the most important. Meeting interval, meeting duration. So let's start with meeting interval. If you set this to 30 minutes, it means that the available booking times are gonna be, you know what, maybe I'm just gonna save this. I'm just gonna write something random here. I'm just gonna save this. We're gonna come back to edit it because I wanna show you. So I'm just gonna go back here to the calendar list, okay? I'm just gonna pick the scheduling link here, which is, I'm gonna go with the permanent scheduling link. I'm gonna put it here. And this is this Calendly style self-scheduling stuff. And I'm gonna show you if I adjust the calendar, how it's gonna affect availability. So I'm gonna go to booking rules, and right now meeting interval is 30 minutes. So this means that people can book 2 p.m., 2:30, 3 p.m., etc. If I change this to 15 minutes, let's say, save changes, and I refresh, people can book every 50 minutes, 2:15, 2:30, 2:45, etc. So I'm gonna go back, I'm gonna keep this on 30 minutes. Meeting duration, how long the call is gonna be. Minimum scheduling notice. So let's say I set this to 2 days. It means that people will only be able to book from Wednesday. So if I hit refresh here, it's not gonna give Monday and Tuesday because the minimum notice is 2 days. So I'm just gonna go back to, I'm gonna keep it like this, date range. This means for how many days in the future people can book. So right now, as you can see, this is pretty much like endless until the future. People can book whatever day they want. But if you wanna set this to, let's say, maximum 10 days that people can book into the future, and I'm gonna refresh here, people can only book until next Tuesday. So that's that. And pre-buffer time, post-buffer time, this adds extra time to your meeting without making the actual event longer. So this is like a buffer. And the maximum bookings per day, maximum bookings per slot, this is, I think it's self-explanatory. Look busy, use this if you want, not really much needed. So that's the booking rules. When it comes to forms and confirmation, when people use this self-scheduling link, you can adjust the questions and everything here. So if I pick a time and I want to book in, it's going to ask for my first name, last name, email, and phone. However, you can set up multiple questions here. Instead of this default here, we can go to forms, sites, forms, and you can build a form here that asks multiple questions, and you can add that into this Calendly style scheduling link. So I'm just gonna go with first name, last name, email, phone, and I'm just gonna do one more, which is radio select. I'm gonna put this here, and I'm gonna call this how much can you invest, and then option one is below 500 to 3K, 3K plus. So that's it. I'm going to keep it simple. We can go ahead and save this. I'm going to name this test form. And now that I go back, calendars, we go back to our calendar settings, hit this test calendar, go to advanced settings, forms, we can choose here our test form. I'm gonna go ahead and hit save. And if I refresh this one and I try to book it's gonna have my form updated here, and I have to answer all of these questions with how much money I can invest and etc. So you can play around with these forms and etc. Accept payments, honestly, I've never really used this. Notifications, this is something that I definitely use. So this is the notifications that you, your team members, and the person who booked the call, your lead, is gonna get when the call is booked, when the call is canceled, rescheduled, etc. So here's where you can edit people having email notifications, in-app, SMS, WhatsApp. Here's where you can set all of these things up. You can give internal notifications to your team if somebody gives a cancellation or reschedules the call, and reminders and follow-ups, everything you can set up here with notification. You can go through these additional settings as well. Here you can put a time limit on how many minutes or hours before the appointment people can cancel or reschedule, and etc, etc. This widget appearance basically lets you customize this exact booking page. You can change the color. So if I change this primary color to, let's say, this pink, you can hit preview widget and you can have these pink things here. So that's how you customize everything with your main calendar. And now I'm going to show you how to integrate Zoom, Google Calendar, Calendly, and all the stuff that you might use. Okay, so you want to go back to calendars, hit calendar settings, and now you want to go to connections. And here you are going to choose either yourself or the team member that you want to set this thing up for. And if you want to connect Google Calendar, you can go to calendars first and you can add your Google Calendar right here. I'm going to hit connect, and all we need to do is just log in with our Google Calendar, and then GoHighLevel will be able to see our availability there and also create new events. Boom. It's all set up now. Conflict calendars, this is the calendar or calendars that GoHighLevel is going to look for when it comes to availability. So if you have appointments booked on your Google Calendar at certain times, it's going to block out the available times in your GoHighLevel calendar. And honestly, that's pretty much it. This is a really simple setup. Now let's go over to video conferencing. My Google Meet got added by default, so it's really easy to use just Google Meet along with your Google Calendar. And when it comes to adding Zoom, you're just gonna hit plus, hit connect Zoom, and we just need to sign in with Zoom and click a couple of things. I'm gonna log in here. Okay, I'm gonna hit verify here. And then now you wanna make sure that you just allow this app to share access and everything. I'm gonna hit allow, and now this should just go ahead and have my Zoom successfully connected. So that's also super easy and simple. Now you see that it already connected Google Meet, and that is now the default thing. You can just go ahead and delete it here, or you can go back to calendars, edit this calendar, and then here with staff and location, for the meeting location, I will make sure that I choose Zoom here and I hit save. If one person is connected to multiple calendars, you can also just set preferences, and then my preference is gonna be that the meetings are held on Zoom, and I'm just gonna hit save preferences. So this is gonna be for every single calendar that you are connected to. You can also set an overall account preference and just go through these things here. Okay, we set our calendar up. We have our Google Calendar connected. We have our Zoom connected. One more thing that you want to pay attention to is your own personal availability. So here at availability, you can change your own schedule, and you see on which calendars this is active. So here you can make sure, okay, I actually take calls from, let's say, 11 a.m. until 8 p.m. and then you can just copy and apply this to all the other days. And then for, let's say, Saturday, you can set, okay, I take calls from 8 a.m. to 10 a.m. Boom. So this is gonna affect the availability of the calendar as well. And then one more thing, always make sure that the time zone is the actual time zone that you are in. So that's important. And when you have, let's say, a birthday coming up or vacation or something, and you want to block out those days, you have two options basically. One, you can just do it in your Google Calendar, and since Google Calendar and GoHighLevel are connected, that's going to be blocked out as well. However, you can also do these date-specific hours. So if you know that you're not going to be available on Monday for whatever reason, you can just click on that, delete this, which means that you're going to be unavailable, and this is going to affect your availability here. So let's look at here. Let's say I'm not available on Thursday and Friday. I'm just going to add date-specific hours, Thursday, Friday, delete it, unavailable, boom, hit save, and when I refresh this, okay, for some reason Thursday is available here, but this is Europe time zone, so if I switch this to EDT, boom, Thursday, Friday not available. So you can block out your days right here. And the last thing that I want to show you is when something is wrong and you don't really know what, when it comes to availability, available slots, you're like, hey, why the hell is this and this time available? Why the hell is that time unavailable? I set everything up correctly. I really like to use this troubleshoot calendar option. So what this is going to do is going to pull up the same Calendly style scheduling UI. And here this is going to show you why each day and each time slot is unavailable. So you see here unavailable, unavailable. You see that these days are available. Friday is set as unavailable in the calendar settings. And this is going to show you the exact reason why certain dates and times in your calendar are not available. This is very useful if you need to troubleshoot. And lastly, how do you integrate Calendly? All you need to do is go to connections, and here you want to add a new calendar, and you can add your Calendly right here, and you just sign in and it's going to be connected. I'm not going to go through that now, and I actually made a deep dive video on how to integrate GoHighLevel and Calendly together, because with these settings it's only going to be a one-way connection. When a Calendly event is created, it's also going to sync with your GoHighLevel. However, when you create an event in GoHighLevel, it's not gonna sync to Calendly with this simple setup. And in this other video that I made, I go deep into how to set up an integration in which new events created in GoHighLevel also make an event in Calendly. So go ahead and watch that video. And if you have any questions, if I missed anything, leave a comment below, and see you guys in the next video.